Hey, McKay here with Preach 360, a ministry of cross-tethered preaching. And in this video, I want to expose a myth. And it's important to expose this myth because believing it is costing you too much. It's the myth that faithful sermons take 15, 20, or more hours to prepare. Anything less, and you aren't taking the text seriously. That's the myth. Looking back, my 20 to 30 hours of sermon prep each week didn't create deeper sermons. It just created longer sermons. And longer sermons are not necessarily more impactful than shorter sermons. So that's another preaching myth for a different video, right? But here's the real cost of buying into the myth. Not only was I stressed about all the other ministry I wasn't able to get to, but needed to, but my kids learned that Saturday was a no-fly zone because Dad was too stressed about Sunday. I was physically present at their soccer games, and yet mentally, I was still trying to figure out my third point in my head. And they knew it. Well, here's what I finally learned. Faithfulness isn't measured by a stopwatch. Spending more time doesn't mean that you're more faithful. It might mean that you're just inefficient. The problem really isn't for most of us that we're not working hard enough. The problem is a lack of a pre-cleared path that you can walk from exegesis and know what you're doing in that process all the way through a full manuscript. Not guessing, not getting bogged down, but having a pre-cleared path that you follow step by step. Inefficiency really isn't faithfulness. It's exhausting, isn't it? That's one of the reasons why I created Preach 360. It's an online sermon studio that comes with a guarantee, which is that you will prep 0 guesswork sermons that will be done by Wednesday with biblical depth, theological clarity, and relentless gospel focus. Preach 360 is a guided workflow that really forces you, by prompting you, to do deep work in the text, but in far less time. It keeps you from getting lost and ensures that every sermon is tethered to the cross of Jesus. Imagine finishing your sermon, truly finishing it, ready to preach by Wednesday. What could your Thursday look like? What could your Friday and Saturday look like with your family if the weight of Sunday were already lifted? This isn't a fantasy or a dream. It really is the new normal for pastors using Preach 360. Just this week, one of our members shared in our community forum, "I did it this week." He was very excited. And I was much less stressed this weekend. I was able to do a sick visit, enjoy my kids' sports, and have a movie night with the kids without feeling the stress and burden on my shoulders because of an unfinished sermon. True quote, true story from a real pastor in our Preach 360 community. So let's get your sermon done by Wednesday and see the difference that it will make in your sermon, in your ministry, and in your personal life. By the way, I lead a community of pastors using Preach 360 to write their messages weekly, and it's a free community to join. Just click the link below or in the bio, and I would love to see you there. My name is McKay Caston, and this is Preach 360.